Hi and welcome to Jungle Scout. We're so glad that you're here. This video is intended to be a brief overview of everything that your Jungle Scout tools have to offer. It's not an in-depth tutorial of those, and it does require some basic seller knowledge, but if you're curious, there's a lot of tutorials and other information in the Academy, which I'll show you at the end of this video to get you off to a good start. With that being said, let's jump right in and get started. All right, so what we're looking at here is your home screen or dashboard. Whenever you log into Jungle Scout, this is what you'll see. You can find all these widgets that show a brief overview of how your business is doing on Amazon if you've connected your account. I also wanted to point out that on the right side of the screen, we have some static links for our upcoming webinars we host every week, as well as our help information, the Academy. But we also have the Resource Center, which is this little question mark in the lower right corner. And this is where I update all of our upcoming webinars with the registration links. You can find the replay links as well for previous sessions. And if you need to get in touch with us, you can find the contact link here, our help center, and other information. So in case you're wondering how to sync your account so that you can see this information that we're looking at on the home screen, if you come up to the right-hand corner of the screen, you'll find a settings icon. When I click on that, this will take me to my account settings. And then if I click on this Amazon settings button, this will take me to a page where I can join my Seller Central account to my Jungle Scout account. Now keep in mind that you do need a professional Seller Central account in order to do this. And if you haven't taken this step, you'll be prompted to basically log into your Seller Central account from within Jungle Scout in order to connect them. Just as a heads up, if you want to sync your PPC data as well, you'll need to log in a second time, and that's just because that data comes from a different part of Amazon, so we need you to do it 2 times. Once you've taken that action, you can see here, I've got this 100% complete bar at the top of the screen, which confirms to me that my accounts are synced. And if you wanted to join multiple Seller Central accounts to your Jungle Scout account, you can see all of them listed here. The next thing I have to show you is email settings and product alerts. We come back to our account settings here, and if I click on this email settings button, this takes me to a screen where I can determine how often I want to receive emails from Jungle Scout about everything pertaining to my products, to listings, and other communications. As you can see here, I have all these boxes checked right now, but you can select which ones you want to receive notifications for. And you can also choose to receive a periodic sales snapshot, which will give you an overview of how your business is doing for a given window of time based on the marketplaces that you select here. Now, if you wanted to receive specific alerts regarding your products on Amazon, if we click alert settings, we can actually tell Jungle Scout to let us know when the bestseller rank changes by a certain percent or discrete number. We can do that for the price and the rating as well. If people leave reviews, or rather if reviews are added or removed from a listing, you can be notified about that. You can also get a notification when the listing changes or if the buy box winner has changed, as well as the number of sellers on the listing and if the product goes out of stock. This is particularly useful if you're competing for this buy box for the same product that other sellers are selling. But even if you're private labeling a product, I love having this turned on just in case anything happens with my listing or I go out of stock and don't realize it. Okay, so I'm back on the home screen now, and the first tool I want to show you is over here on the left-hand menu. Under the toolbox section, you can find our sales estimator and listing grader. The sales estimator just gives you an idea of how many units you might expect to sell in a month for a given category and a given bestseller rank. So we can type in any number that we'd like here, and we can choose a category, and then our estimator will let you know how many sales you might expect to make in a month's time. With the listing grader tool, you can instantly get an idea of how good the quality of a given listing is on Amazon. As you can see here, I've plugged in an ASIN from Amazon, and it looks like it could actually use some improvement based on the number of characters in the title, as well as the number of characters for each bullet point. So you can plug in any of your competitors' ASINs and instantly get an idea of whether you could improve this listing yourself. So over on the left-hand menu, you can see that our tools are grouped into different categories of tools based on what you'd like to accomplish. So we have all of our product research tools here, and I'm going to start with category trends first. This tool basically allows you to get an idea of what products are trending on Amazon right now for the last 3 days. And this could be useful as a springboard in case you wanted to investigate a niche in more detail based on the types of products you see that are consistently holding the top bestseller rank in a category. The product database is a database that Jungle Scout has built in parallel to Amazon itself. And when you search our database, you can specify lots of different parameters to find just the type of product you're looking for. As you can see, I've got an example search up on the screen. So I chose the home and kitchen category. I've put in a couple of different parameters over on the right here. I haven't checked any of these boxes at the top just because I wanted the search to remain broad. And then once I click the search button, you can see a table below that's not in any particular order. It's just to get you started looking at products that fit these criteria. I particularly love clicking on the FBA profit calculator because this allows you to actually plug in the product cost if you know it, so that you can get an idea of how much profit you could potentially make selling this item on Amazon. The product database offers a lot of information, so if you're interested, I'd recommend going and finding the product tutorial in the Academy for more info on how to make the most of this tool. You can find the Opportunity Finder in the product research section as well. This tool looks very similar to the product database, but I think of it as one step higher in the search because rather than giving you specific products that are selling on Amazon right now, instead it gives you niches that you can explore in more detail. So as you can see, I've put in a couple of example parameters here and then I conducted a search, and now this table will show me keywords that people are searching for that represent entire groups of products. If I were to expand one of these rows, I can get a table that shows me some historic data about how many units are selling in this niche over the last 2 years. I can look at the average price and how that's gone up and down. I can get the same info for the search volume, and it can even tell me whether the product is seasonal or not, so I can know to avoid that if it's not what I'm looking for. Lastly, this top product section allows you to kind of peek down into the product database, and it shows you the top selling individual products on Amazon today in this niche. The product tracker is also located under the product research section. This tool allows you to organize products that you want to observe over time. It gives you some historic data about their sales so that you can make an informed decision about whether to source these products yourself. As you can see at the top, there are all of these tabs, which you can name whatever you'd like to keep everything nice and organized. And as you begin adding products to it, you'll see this table grow and you will see this group overview show you some aggregate information for the specific products that you add to this list. Lastly, if you were to click on the View button, a little window will slide out from the right, which shows you that historic data about everything from the number of units sold to the bestseller rank to the inventory level and even the buy box price over time. The extension is a separate tool from the web app, so you do need to install it in your browser, whether you're using Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox. Once you've installed it and pinned it to the top of your browser though, you'll need to log into the extension just like you did the web app, and then you can make full use of it. As you can see here, I've got it installed and turned on. I can tell that it's on because the icon is orange. And when you are on Amazon itself, if you're visiting a product listing page, you can actually see this little widget at the top which shows you some historic data for this product. It will give you information about the dimensions, the weight, a lot of interesting things. You can also download the reviews from this page as an Excel file in case you want to search for keywords that people are leaving in the reviews. Additionally, if we were to conduct a search on Amazon itself and we have the extension turned on, it will also load these little widgets between each search result, which give you an at-a-glance info of how many units are selling in a month, how much revenue it's generating. Super useful for collecting data quickly when you are validating a product idea. Lastly, you can also click on the extension itself to open a pop-up, which will show you some aggregate information about all the products that appear on this search page. Just keep in mind that this is in real time, so if you come and do the same search later in the day or another day of the week, the data could be different based on how Amazon's algorithm has moved things around. You can also open up the menu to download the results as a CSV. You can generate a keyword cloud, and you can even download a screenshot with the sensitive information blurred out so that you can share this information in support groups and get other people's opinions about whether products look like they're a good idea to sell or not without them seeing which products you're actually researching. The Keyword Scout tool can be found under the Keywords section in the left-hand menu. Once you plug in a keyword up here, Our tool can suggest thousands of relevant keywords related to that search term, and you can get lots of useful information about the search volume, suggested PPC bids, how difficult it is to influence the ranking of your listing using this keyword, and more. There are a lot of really powerful filters in this tool, so if you want to learn more about how to leverage it, you should feel free to sign up for one of our Tooltip Tuesday sessions or check out the tutorials in the Academy. Keyword lists can be found in the left-hand menu under the Keyword section. This tool allows you to create multiple tabs, name them whatever you'd like to organize your keywords, and you can add as many as you'd like to these lists so that when it's time to create your listing, it's easy to just import these keywords into the Listing Builder tool itself. Listing Builder can be found in the left-hand menu under the Keyword section. This tool, once you've synced your Amazon Seller Central account with Jungle Scout, will allow you to see all of your active listings, whether they're saved to draft form or whether they're ready to publish. You can see information about when the products were created and when the listing was last updated. And if we wanted to create one from scratch, we could do 3 different operations. We can either draft a new listing completely, we could optimize an existing listing, or we could even plug in any ASIN from Amazon and edit that listing ourselves. As you can see here, if we've built some keyword lists using the Keyword Scout tool and keyword lists, we can just import those keywords into the Listing Builder by clicking Apply. That will allow us to refine the list itself by various criteria. So once we process that, we can apply these keywords. And then here is the Listing Builder tool itself. You'll notice on the left-hand side of the screen, there's this dial which will indicate the quality of the listing, and it will change as you begin typing in keywords to the title, the various bullet points, which are called features, and the back-end search terms. If you have access to A+ content on Amazon, you can also check this box to type in some extra descriptive content. And once you're ready to push it to Amazon, you can just click the Sync to Amazon button and it will be pushed to Seller Central where you can finish the listing within the Amazon backend. The Rank Tracker tool can be found in the left-hand menu under the Keywords section. Launching a product is unfortunately not a set it and forget it endeavor, and the Rank Tracker tool will give you access to monitoring the performance of your keywords in your listings over time so that you can make the necessary adjustments, make sure that your product is ranking high in the search results. As you can see here, we have different groups of products. You can see them in a table below here. Once I've clicked on a product in the previous table, it will take me to this page where I can see a graph showing the top 10 keywords for this listing with historic data about how the sales rank has changed over time for each keyword. If I hover over one of the keywords on the left, you can see it will highlight the line on the right, which makes it easier to see within the table. And if I scroll down, I can see a table with all the keywords for this listing, along with useful information about the organic rank for the product for this keyword, which page of the search results the product is appearing on, our suggested bid for PPC campaigns, how easy it is to influence the rank of your listing using this keyword, and more information. If you'd like to see more of Rank Tracker in action, feel free to sign up for one of our Tooltip Tuesday sessions where I go into more detail in this tool. Finding suppliers has never been easier with Jungle Scout's supplier database, which you can find under the supplier section in the left-hand menu. As you can see here, there are 4 different ways to search our database for manufacturers for products. You can search for it based on a keyword for the product itself. You can put in a company name such as PetSmart. You could put in a supplier if you've already done some research on a website like Alibaba, or you could even plug in a competitor's ASIN to try to see who they're using to manufacture their products. Just as a quick note, this database is based on publicly available records for imports to the United States only because of the Freedom of Information Act. So while it does not offer this information for other marketplaces, it's still extremely useful for you no matter where you're hoping to sell, because if a supplier is exporting their goods to the American marketplace, there's a very good chance that they can sell to your marketplace as well. As you can see here, when I typed in a keyword like marshmallow sticks, this will then show me a list of suppliers based on how relevant they are to the keyword I entered. It will show me some information about the types of materials that they specialize in manufacturing. And if I expand this, we can even see a historic graph of how many exports to the United States they've done since we began collecting data in 2015. Once you've found a suitable supplier, you can add them to the supplier tracker, which is found under the same section as the supplier database, under the supplier section in the left-hand menu. As you can see here, very much like our product tracker and keyword list tools, there are tabs at the top of this page which you can name however you'd like to keep everything organized. You can add products to each group, and once you expand the information, this will essentially show you what you viewed in the supplier database, but you do have the opportunity to add more detailed information such as notes about any quotes you've received from this supplier. You can put photos of the samples you've ordered. You can even generate professional looking purchase orders to send to your suppliers and add any other miscellaneous notes just to help keep everything organized so that you're ready to order the product from the right supplier. The review automation tool can be found in the left-hand menu under the marketing section, and this is a really brilliant new addition to our suite. Essentially, once you've connected your Seller Central account to Jungle Scout, you can just toggle this tool on and set it and forget it. Now, normally, if you wanted to request reviews from your customers, you would have to go into your Amazon Seller Central backend and several clicks deep on each order, find the button there that asks Amazon to send that request for a review. Doing this manually can take hours of time, especially if you have hundreds or thousands of orders to process. So Jungle Scout's tool can automate this entire process, and the best part of it is that it's completely Amazon compliant. Since it's not an email that we're sending, we are actually just requesting that Amazon send their own email to the customer. This means that it will be translated into the customer's target language, and it will conform to all of Amazon's terms of service, so you don't need to worry about breaking any of their rules. You can also look here in the table and see the status of a given request. You can toggle it on or off for a given order. You can even come in and edit the delay so that if you'd like the request to go out a little bit later, you can tell us how many days to wait before we send that request. And my favorite part of this tool is that at the top, you can even see the total amount of time that you've saved by using this tool rather than doing this manually yourself. To make full use of our sales analytics tools, you will need to tell Jungle Scout information about the products you're selling after you've synced your Jungle Scout account with Amazon Seller Central. So you can find the product settings over here on the left-hand menu under Manage Products. On this page, you'll be able to edit the delay for any review automation requests. And you can also tell Jungle Scout over on the right-hand side of the table what your product lead time is, as well as the number of days of supply you normally order from your supplier. Now keep in mind that this number needs to be the total amount of time between when you place the order with your supplier and when it's actually available to sell on Amazon. So we always recommend adding a buffer time of about a week or two just to account for any unforeseen delays in shipping or getting those products checked into Amazon's warehouses. The Inventory Manager tool allows you to make sure that you're staying in stock with Amazon, which is critical for maintaining your sales rank and keeping your customers happy. You can find this tool in the left-hand menu under the Manage Products section. And once you've entered information in product settings about your lead time and the number of days supply that you normally order, the Inventory Manager tool will calculate exactly which date you need to place your next order to remain in stock. You can see what your inventory level cost is, what the reorder cost would be based on the data you've given us, as well as the potential profit you could make based on your historic sales, which I find particularly motivating every time I need to place an order with my supplier. In order to calculate your profits in the Sales Analytics tool accurately, Jungle Scout does need you to enter your product costs, which you can find over in the left-hand menu under Manage Products. Once you're on this page, if you've synced your accounts, you should be able to see all your active products. And if you expand the row, this is where you can click Add Cost and tell us your cost of goods per unit. You can put any shipping cost per unit and any miscellaneous costs such as royalties or other commissions you're paying for this product. Once you've added that information, we can then calculate your profitability accurately in the Sales Analytics tool, which I'll show you next. The Profit Overview tool can be found in the left-hand menu under the Sales Analytics group. This will show you an at-a-glance view of how profitable your business is doing on Amazon if you've synced your accounts and entered your product settings and product costs in the left-hand menu tools under those sections. As you can see here, the company view is the default view, and this will show me everything from how many units I've sold to what my return on investment is. And if we click on each of these tabs, we can get a nice graph showing me some historical historic data about how my revenues and costs have changed over time. Each one of these also gives you a breakdown on the left-hand side of these categories, which makes it a lot easier to understand the health of your business versus looking at the reports generated in Amazon's back end. You can also get this information on a product-by-product view by clicking the multi-product view tab at the top. And then once we click on one of our active products, then we can get this information just for that particular ASIN. Lastly, I did want to point out some resources for you. In the left-hand menu, you can find the Academy, which is our video library, which is chock full of resources. It has tutorials that go into each one of these tools in way more detail than this video gives. There are also recorded sessions of some of our webinars, and you can see some inspiring seller stories and testimonials from other Jungle Scout users. We also have Tooltip Tuesday, which is an ongoing webinar that I host here every Tuesday, where I dive into each one of these tools in more detail. I allow people to ask questions live, and it's a great sense of community for people to plug into each week to keep them going on their seller journey. We also have our YouTube channel where you can find things like the $1 Million Case Study and other webinars where we bring together other Jungle Scouters who are selling on Amazon, guest experts, and more to keep you informed of the latest happenings in the Amazon industry. So that's everything. I hope this video was useful in giving you an overview of everything your Jungle Scout tools can do. We hope to see you soon on a live webinar, and thanks for watching.